Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea and my voice is back. If you've been following me, I lost my voice. And so if my voice cracks throughout this video, just bear with me. But honey child, we are talking about my recommendations for you all for the Sephora savings event, which is currently going on right now. And the products I'm going to share with you today, I feel are going to be amazing recommendations. I will share with you some products that I highly recommend and some that I just feel like are not worth your buy, and I will provide alternatives for them. So stay tuned for all of that. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. If you are new, I would love for you to click that subscribe button and join the Glam Girl Squad because we love to have you. And if you are a returning subscriber, first off, thank you to those of you who told me to rest my voice. I appreciate you, but I appreciate all of you for supporting my channel any way that you choose to support me. Watching this video always helps. Liking, commenting down below, and shopping through my links are all ways that I really appreciate you supporting me, and I really just appreciate you being here with me on this journey. So let's get right into this video. So before we begin, I always like to say around this time of the year, because we're all shopping at Sephora, maybe not all of us, but some of us are, if you wouldn't consider using my links down below, it really does help to support me and my channel, especially during this time of the year where we're doing a little bit more shopping at Sephora than we normally do. So if you do decide to shop through my links, I truly do appreciate it. They're all down in the description box below. Lastly, I do have a whole Sephora recommendations playlist. So if you want to check out my older videos on products that I've raved about before, I still hold true to those products. So check out my older videos if you want to see products that are maybe not as new to this year that you may want to get my feedback on. Okay, let's get into this. So first, starting out with foundation. It's my favorite category ever. And I've got a few that I would recommend. So number one, here's a foundation that I like. I like it, but I'm not like in love with it. So this is not a knock to this foundation. It's just, if you like this foundation or you think you want this foundation, check it out. But you also might want to check out these options. Here we go. So the Fenty Beauty, this is going to be the soft lit long wear foundation. I have the shade 310. This is a really good shade match. And this is a beautiful medium coverage foundation that's going to give you more of like a glowier look to the skin. It's not oily, but it definitely is going to give you a nice kind of satin finish to the skin. This is a beautiful foundation. That's it for me. It's beautiful. It lasts very well on the skin, and I like it. But I don't love it, and if I want this type of effect, this is not the foundation that I'm going to reach for first. So what I would recommend to you, got a couple things. Number one, this Prada foundation, honey child. So this is the Prada Reveal Skin Optimizing Foundation. I wear the shade, oh, hold on, I gotta take it out, it's cartridge. I wear the shade DN75, and y'all, this foundation is just slam pretty on the skin. So this is going to give you medium coverage. The finish is going to be like a nice kind of natural finish to the skin. So a little less dewy than the Fenty Beauty one. But when I say it looks like skin and perfected skin on the face, so beautiful. I do have a full day wear test of this foundation on my Patreon, which is also linked down below. So if you want to check out a fuller review on it, you can check it out there, but I highly recommend this one. Now, if you really want something like extra glowy, like a little bit more glow, a little bit more like, I don't want to say pearlescence, but you just want something more glowy than the ones that I recommended, and you were eyeing the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. So this is the Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint. I'm going to tell you to pass on this one, okay? Go ahead and pass. Now, if you're interested anyway, obviously check it out. The shade that I wear is 12 Tan. This gives me hardly any coverage. I compared it to the Hollywood Flawless Filter. And to me, I felt like coverage-wise, we got a little bit more coverage from this one, but there was just a lot of glow, and it looked more like a stick highlight than it did a glowy foundation. So my recommend, if you want something that this is claiming to do, check this one out. The Patrick Ta, this is the Major Skin Hydra Luxe Luminous Foundation. I wear the shade 16, it's peachy neutral. And this is going to give you that glowy effect on the skin, but also provide you coverage and look like a foundation on the skin, not a like stick highlighter all over the face. I really have been enjoying this one. It gives me a nice like light to medium coverage. So you can build this up to medium, or you can wear it a little bit more sheer. It's another one of those formulations that's really beautiful. The formula is a little thinner too, so it's gonna blend into the skin a bit more. And if I remember correctly, this gives me more of like serum foundation type of formulation without being like too picky, like some serum foundation. So I really enjoy this foundation, especially for days when I want lighter coverage. I kind of want like my skin but better with a glow. This is the foundation I'm gonna reach for. Still along the lines of this one. This one's just a pure recommendation. If you want a foundation that's gonna give you coverage, it's going to have a nice, beautiful, like natural formulation on the skin that you can wear either sheer or you can build up to a nice solid medium. LYS foundation. Yes. So this is the LYS Skin Tint Foundation Stick. I'm actually wearing it on my face today. This is in shade TN6 and it is beautiful on the skin. So they sent me a sample of this early summer. I wore this all summer long on all of my summer vacation trips. This is definitely a long wear formula. We were in Mexico with this foundation. We were at Disney in the thick of July in this foundation. It holds up under any condition, looks so beautiful on the skin, blends seamlessly into the skin. And if you know anything about the brand, they formulate their products to be clean. So the ingredients in this foundation are really great. I absolutely love this foundation. It is so beautiful. And for it to be a skin tint, I love that we get good solid coverage from it if we wanted to. So if you want more coverage like what I did today, I just applied more stripes onto the skin. If I want like a very light layer to where it almost looks like I'm not wearing anything, stripe, 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 blend it in and we're good to go. So this is a solid recommendation if you want like a skin tint type of formulation in a stick form. Okay. Now moving on to the matte side of foundations. Y'all know I love foundations. If you don't know I love foundations, that's why we got a lot. All right, here's a controversial one. This is definitely a skip this, get this. I have tried and tried and tried, y'all. And I'm just one of those people, I can't get with it. I cannot get with this Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation. Okay, I have done a full review on this one. The shade that I have is 430 in, and it's nice. It is very nice. It is solid, but it just doesn't tickle my fancy. It just doesn't tickle my fancy enough to where I'm like, yes, this is how I figured out how to make it work for me. It's a solid foundation. I know people who love it, but it just didn't like do it for me. It does blur the skin. I also got the primer. It does blur the skin. I got the primer with it. The primer definitely gives you an even more blurred effect. But it just was like, So my recommendation, I've got a couple up here. If you want a blurred effect, you want really good, solid, medium to fuller coverage, you want it to be long lasting without having to have the primer with it. Because I will say, without the primer, you do notice a difference of it being less blurred. Okay, here we go. Number one, we've got the One Size foundation. So I did do a comparison with the two of these. One Size won it for me for sure. The shade that I wear in the One Size foundation is medium dark 35 NG. And when I tell y'all, I cannot stop wearing this foundation. And if you know me, I usually don't opt for the full coverage matter type of foundations, but this was formulated so beautifully. And so I would say if you're looking for a full coverage, more matte foundation that does not feel heavy on the skin, that is going to blur the skin by itself, no additional primer needed, that will last literally from sun up to the next morning sun up, and is going to give you full beats, this is the one you want to check for. Now, if you have drier skin, she may not be tickling your fancy because she is going to pull more matte. I'm just going to put it out there. I would say this is probably going to work better for people who have like normal combination oily skin, or people who don't mind a mattified finish. You can, of course, go in with a hydrating primer, but honey, this has been doing it for me. Like literally doing it for me. I'm so shocked. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I love it, but I do. And then the last one that I wanna recommend is the Dior foundation stick. So this is newer to the market in the Dior house. And I also wear shade 4 in. This is beautiful. So if you want a really good stick foundation recommendation, I would say this foundation has a natural sort of demi-matte finish to the skin, but it's also long wearing. It's really, really beautiful. On my Patreon, I compared the Dior foundation stick to the LYS foundation stick, and that was a really, really good showdown there. But solid, beautiful. I like this one if I'm going out for more like formal events, just because it just, I don't know, it just looks, not saying it looks better on the skin for formal events, but I feel like this is what I'm going to reach for those types of occasions. Whereas the LYS foundation stick is more so like my everyday, like I don't even think about it type of foundation stick. That's what I reach for this one for. So we got the longest category out the way. Moving on to concealer. For concealer, if you want a hydrating concealer and you were looking at the Fenty Beauty concealer, this is the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. I wear shade 310W. We can go ahead and see it, this one, okay? I really enjoyed this one. I wore it a lot when it first came out. And my biggest frustration was this bad boy creased on me like nobody's business. And I couldn't figure out why. Like, why are you doing this to me? So I found an option for us that is actually cheaper and, in my opinion, even better. Here we go. Sephora Collection Best Skin Ever Glow Concealers. So I have 2 shades. The shade that matches my complexion is going to be 30.5 in, just 30.5. And then my brightening shade is shade 28. These concealers are long wearing. They give you the glow that you want, or I should say more so the hydration. So nothing greasy, but they do give you a hydrated look under the skin. Very long wearing. And these are $15. And if you remember, all Sephora Collection is 30% off, no matter what tier in Sephora you are. These give me a nice light to medium type of coverage. Okay. And the formula is not too thick either. Another concealer recommendation, Danessa Myricks Lift and Flex Concealers. So the 3 shades that I use the most are shade 7, which is going to be my brightening shade, shade 9, which I use for like a slight brightening shade, and then shade 10 is closer to my complexion. So in my look that I did today, I went in with shade 10 first to just conceal, and then I went in with shade 9, but it didn't brighten enough to what I wanted. So I added a little bit of shade 7. These concealers lift, flex, bronze, contour, cover. They do all the things. The formulation of this concealer is going to be more, I would say, natural to slightly mattified. So if you have drier skin, I would definitely prep the skin, but I don't feel like these are so dry that you wouldn't be able to enjoy them. But the formulation is a little thinner. And like I said, it's going to give you that natural, slightly matte finish to the skin. It does blend out really effortlessly. You get amazing coverage. And if you want less coverage, just go in with less product. The doe foot is formulated to where you only, to where when you take it out of the bottle, it has the right amount of concealer on it that you can use for all over the face. And I would agree with that. If I took it out of the container and literally applied this concealer wherever I wanted to apply it to, I'm going to have way more than enough concealer. I still, out of habit, still wipe it off, and I still have enough concealer for wherever I want to apply it. So this was the concealer that I rode hard with from the time that it came out all through the summer. Like, this was the only concealer I was bringing with me anywhere I went. Traveled with her everywhere, long wearing, all the things. Now, the concealer I have been the most recent in love with, like 2-week love affair, and I don't know how it took me so long to try this. Y'all probably gonna laugh at me when I tell you this, but I gotta talk about it because I just can't stop using it. Y'all, why didn't y'all tell me to pick up the Natasha Denona concealers? Because these came out last year. And I knew they came out last year. And I'm gonna tell you why I slept on them. Because in the past, Natasha's complexion products, we just didn't vibe. They didn't like my skin, okay? Okay, so when these came out, I guess I just felt like, nah, I'm gonna just stick what I know, what I like from her, and keep it moving. Biggest mistake. So I recently partnered with Beautylish for their gift card event, and I requested this concealer because Painted by Spencer just finished doing a series on his Instagram page of the best full coverage concealer, and he made like over 20 videos trying to find the best full coverage concealer. You know who won? Natasha's, and that's why I picked it up. He ain't never lied. Oh my goodness me. So the shade that I got from Beautylish is shade NY11. Full coverage, but so effortless looking on the skin, and it doesn't feel heavy either. Like, coverage is like spackle full coverage, but she looks so good on the skin. So this didn't brighten me up enough. It gave me solid coverage. So when I wear it, I'll go in with this first to conceal, and then actually just picked this one up the other day as my brightening shade. So this is shade YP8. Y'all, when I put these two on together with the One Size foundation, can we just say red carpet beat? Here we come. Yes. Because y'all, I've been telling y'all for a long time, I'm going to be on somebody's red carpet. If I got to be on the red carpet mañana, this is the combination I'm wearing for my base. Foundation, concealers. It's so freaking flawless. You would never know I have freckles, which FYI, I love my freckles. I don't want to cover them. But if you are someone who does want to cover imperfections on the face, check these out, okay? And the formula is also hydrating for it to be as full coverage as it is. Like, I am completely blown away by how beautiful these concealers are. And I'm just so mad it took me all this time to try it. But honey, we're here. And you can't tell me nothing, okay? Okay. All right, moving on, let's go on to powders. Okay, so there are two powders that I have not been able to put down since summertime, around that time. So the first one came out around the end of summer, the OYS Beauty Loose Powder. So the shade that they sent over to me is Independent Tan. I also have a pink shade by them, if I can find it quickly, and I cannot, so we're not gonna waste time, but I have the pink shade as well. This shade, Independent Tan, is going to be my complexion shade. It's a really beautiful blurring powder that also gives you a little bit of coverage. So when I want like more of a fuller coverage type of look, this is the powder that I will apply all over the skin. For today's look, because I didn't want to go like crazy full coverage, I just used a fluffy brush to buff it into the skin. But when I want like some really good blurred skin, take you a powder puff and press this into the skin. Honey, stunning. But this is beautiful, and it's also long lasting on the skin as well. But my love affair, honey, for the past, when did this come out? Early September? I think this came out early September. Whenever this came out, my love affair since this has come out, this Makeup by Mario Loose Setting Powder. I wear the shade 3 Neutral Peach, and I just can't use any other powder. I just cannot. I have other powders. I be looking at my other powders and I just be like, but the blurred, flawless effect on the skin. And she's also so lightweight. And she just like, she mattifies the skin. And even though I be looking matte sometimes, I take my setting spray, and after I spray my skin, the way she just melts into the skin, it's like, I can't even say enough good things. All I'm gonna say is you have to try this one. I ain't said that yet. Off of none of these products I done mentioned to you. This is definitely a like, if you might even be interested in a loose powder, pick this one up. It's not drying. It's, like I said, it's mattifying on the skin, but you can manipulate the matteness by either applying less, using your setting sprays. Like, she's so beautiful. I literally refuse to put her down. That's where we are in this relationship. Next, we have bronzers. I only have 2 recommendations for you. I don't have like a don't get this. This is what we got here. First one that I've still been riding hard with since it came out last year, I think. The Pat McGrath bronzers, seriously, seriously, seriously. Pat McGrath did it with this bronzer. I wear the shade Bronze Mahogany. This is the deepest shade. And if you want just the most beautiful matte bronzer that has like a very subtle glow, and it's not even really a good word because don't think glow, but it just looks like, it makes the skin look polished where you apply bronzer. This is a really good one to check out. Now, the one that has stolen my heart this year, and we're also in a very committed relationship, and I just don't want to use any other bronzer at all, is the YSL bronzer. She is worth every penny, in my opinion. I have two shades. So YSL sent me this shade, which is 5. I purchased shade 3. So shade 3 I purchased in the springtime. That worked fine. But all through the summer when I had my tan, and even the shade that I just reached for now because I like it better, is this shade here, shade 5. It's just so freaking beautiful. It warms the skin without warming it up too much. Like, it doesn't look too orange on the skin. It's not like terribly neutral, which I usually prefer neutral bronzers, hence why I love the Pat one. But like the warmth that she gives, just, and it's so smoothing and blurring on the skin as well. I can't even, like, it is the bronzer of my dreams. The warm bronzer of my dreams, I'll say that. Okay, cream bronzer recommendation. The one that I'm wearing today. She has broken the internet so many times. LYS Beauty Cream Bronzer. Nothing new. I just got to put her out there. She's amazing. So she's the one that I'm wearing today. It's a cream bronzer that stays in place. She's long wearing. She's not too emollient, so she's not going to bleed all over your face or be there and then be square. Like, she's not going to do all of that. She's solid. Now, this is crazy pigmented. I wear the shade Courage. So the way that I like to apply it, because I be over applying and then I'll be like, dang it, I applied too much. So I'll go in with my fluffy brush and then go like this, and then I'll blend it into the skin. I see people swiping and I'm like, y'all are brave, because I always apply too much. So that's my recommendation with the bronzer, but honey, solid. Now, if you want a liquid bronzer, because we came up, because we had a couple come out this year, and you were looking at the Makeup by Mario, this is the Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. So, this is the one with the pump, and then it also had the wand. I'm going to tell you to skip this one. Leave her at the store. It's cute. She gave me a sculpted effect, but what I would suggest, which I feel is better, is going to be the Say Liquid Bronzer. So they sent this one over, and I have the shade Spritz, which is the one that I like. This shade is going to give you a more contourish shade, but also bronze the skin. And it lasts better on the skin. Like, I felt like the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Serum kind of faded throughout the day, whereas this one stayed in place. I felt like at the end of the day, I could still see it. Also blended really seamlessly into the skin. This really does have a serum formulation. So I feel like the skincare ingredients in this particular formula really does absorb into the skin, which is probably what it should do. But then pigmentation wise, we don't really see a lot of you at the end of the day. So my suggestion would be to check out the Say Liquid Bronzer. The Danessa Myricks Forever Flushed Kit. So I threw away the box. My apologies. But it is the kit that comes with 2 full size of her balm powder flushes and then 2 mini sizes of the flushes. We have 2 original shades and then 2 new shades. So the shade that I'm using today is one of her original shades, which is called Dancing Queen. I mean, look at how beautiful this looks on the cheeks. This formula I love because, number one, it's such a blurring formula due to the chemical oxalate that's in it. So it's going to help to blur the skin. It's also going to make the skin poreless. And then if you produce oils, it will absorb those excess oils, keeping the skin looking really beautiful, poreless with a soft matte finish to the skin. So I really enjoy these. And I love that you can use these on the face and also on the lips. So Dancing Queen is the original, is an original shade. Another shade that is an original shade is Jubilee, which is one of my favorite shades. Like, when I don't know what blush shade to wear, Jubilee is one of those shades that She works every time. Now, one of the new shades that comes in a full size is Spiced Latte. Maybe I should swatch these so you can see that. I don't want to start swatching because then I feel like I got to keep swatching. But Spiced Latte, think of it as like a pumpkin-based shade. And Jubilee is going to give you like a pinky salmon shade. So I will swatch these two because I feel like they are similar. And if you're interested in like, okay, what is the difference? Hopefully these swatches will help. Spiced Latte is going to be this shade here, and then Jubilee will be this shade here. So Spiced Latte is a very, very soft, neutral toned, like peachy toned, yeah, Spiced Latte type of tone. And she looks really beautiful on the skin. So I've been reaching for a Spiced Latte when I want like a very neutral, like peachy neutral blush that just kind of looks effortless on the skin. Doesn't stand out too much, but complements my complexion. And this shade, if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I have a deeper complexion, I don't know if this will work. I can't remember who the creator is, but she has a really beautiful, rich complexion, and she applied it and it looked stunning on her. And she really enjoyed how it looked on her like deep chocolate skin. So don't shy away from this thinking like, this is not gonna work for me. And it also looks really beautiful on the lips. And then the other new shade is called Red Velvet. And y'all, when I say Red Velvet and we go together, honey, I will swatch her because she needs a moment. This is a red that is so beautiful. I've worn it on the lips with more intensity, and it's such a beautiful, like true red color. I've worn it more sheer on my cheeks, and it just looks stunning. Like it doesn't look like a harsh red color on the cheeks if you just go in with less product. So I highly recommend this kit. And what's even better is that this whole kit, so 2 full size shades, too many shades, $35. One of these, $25. So for $10, you're getting 3 extra shades. And these mini sizes have a good amount of product in them. So it's not like you're gonna get, 1 or 2 uses out of them and then you're done. So highly, highly recommend the kit and also this formulation. Okay, something else that I would recommend for blushers, these Hourglass liquid blushes are beautiful. So what I like about them is that they've got the trampoline dropper on the bottom of it, so you really can control how much of the blush is going to come out. And I like that they blend easily into the skin. They're pigmented, but you can, apply less if you want sheer pigmentation, or apply more if you want a thicker pigmentation. I have the shades Moment, which is going to be like this more light peachy shade. We have the shade Imagine, and I'm not going to swatch because y'all already know this video is going to be like 85 minutes long. And then we have this more pinky shade, which is called Future. So I really enjoy them, and they're like just real, they look very like, they give like a soft glow to the skin. So they're not a matte formulation completely, but they do give like a nice soft glow, even though there's no shimmer in the formula. A couple other blushes. I absolutely love the LYS Cream Blush Sticks. I traveled with these all summer, and they were my favorite. Very similar as the cream bronzer. Longwear formula, very pigmented. I apply them the same way. I take my brush and then I swipe it over it and then apply it to the cheeks because I'll be out here applying too much if I go just like this. Love these. They just sent over their mini kit, which is right here. So this is available right now for $25, I want to say, and you get 3 shades in a mini size, which I think if you've never tried the blush formula, or you just have tried it and you want more shades, how cute are these? So just to show you size proximity, this is the size difference. And I feel like you're still getting a really good amount of product in the mini sizes as you are in the full sizes. So this kit would be a really great way to try the shades in here. You get shades Bubbly, Focus, and Elite. So Bubbly is a soft pink shade. Focus is a warm cinnamon pink. And then Elite is a mauve shade, which those shades I really do like. And the last blushes that I'm going to recommend are going to be the Say Liquid blushes. Springtime and early summer, these were the only blushes that I was like reaching for consistently. I love them. So the shades that I wore the most are going to be Cutie, which is going to be like this light kind of pale peachy color. We have the shade Chili, which is a cool toned, what's that word to describe this? It's like a cool toned purple pink color. There's a word that defines that I'm just not thinking of. The shade Baby here is like a cool toned pink. And then the shade Sweetie, Sweetie is giving me more of like a coral pink. So those blushes are so beautiful. I love them because I literally take it, dab it onto the cheeks, and blend it out. So with these, they don't come out of the tube super pigmented, so they're easier to work with because you don't have to worry about like using too much of the product. And they blend effortlessly into the skin, and they also leave like a nice glow to the skin. The cream bronzers here are going to leave you with a nice glow as well. Okay. Highlighters. Okay, I've got skip this, get that. And we've got the Fenty Beauty. This is the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. The shade that I have here is Yum Rum. And although this is beautiful, it applies really nicely onto the skin. It's giving like kind of like ethereal, like barely there type of glow. I really think you can skip this formula and you can get the Danessa Myricks Lowlighters. So I have the shades Off the Grid and Incognito, and I'm going to tell you why I think these are going to be better. These are also formulated with Up to Light. So if you have texture on your face and you've always wanted to wear a highlighter, but you're like, all my highlighters accentuate my texture, or I have big pores and I don't want to put a highlighter over it. The Up to Light in this formula is going to blur the pores. It's not going to emphasize the texture because it's going to have those blurring properties within the formula, and it's still going to give you a glow. So this might be the highlighter that you would love to try out. I also like this just for like a barely there type of glow on the face. Third reason why I love these is because I use these a lot on the eyes for like such a beautiful look, especially in the summertime where I'm like, I want an eye look that's going to take me long, but I want an eye look that's going to be like effective and beautiful, and like I did something, but I didn't have to put forth a lot of effort. These two shades, Incognito and Off the Grid, I would put Off the Grid on the outer corner of the eye, and then Incognito like right here in the center. Eye look was spectacular. So I think the formula of these are better than the Fenty Beauty ones. And then for me, I was able to get more uses out of them because I wore them not only on the face, but also on the eyes. The only other highlighter that I recommend are going to be the OS ones. OS ones are fire. So these are their cream highlighter sticks. And the shades that I wore the most this summer were Brave, which is the champagne shade. This shade right here. This is, Brave is going to be my favorite shade, hands down. But Genuine is the rose gold one, and I can't even hold you. I don't really know which one I've worn the most between Brave and Genuine, because anytime I want like a pinky pink glow, Genuine is the one that I reach for. But very long lasting, so creamy. I apply these the same way that I apply the cream blushes and the cream bronzer. Take my brush, swipe it on here, and then blend it into the skin. So amazing. And you can have a subtle glow, or you can have like glow to the gods type of glow with them. Whatever glow you want, you can get from those cream products. And then I don't think I mentioned this, but with the cream bronzer, the cream blushes, and then also the cream highlighters, you do not have to set them with a powder. So you can literally apply them on top of powdered skin or just on top of your regular skin. They're gonna last all day long. So, and that's another reason why I love them. They don't have to be set because they're so emollient. They are like the perfect formula to just last on the skin however you choose to apply them. Okay, let's move on to face palettes. So I do have two face palettes to recommend. And I do have a skip this, get that. And I gotta preface this by saying, the one that I'm telling you to skip, I'm not saying she's not good, because I've been using her and loving her. However, the one that I'm recommending, I get more use out of it, and that's why I'm saying skip it, get this other one. So the palette that I'm going to tell you to skip, I feel so bad saying this. It's the Hourglass Lotus Flower. Okay, like I said, I have been getting really good use out of her. I have been using her, and I thoroughly enjoy her. I've done a review on this one already. Have I? Yes, I have. And she's beautiful. Definitely recommend it if you're interested in it. But if you want a face palette and you're like, look, Chels, because these face palettes out here are not cheap. I want a face palette that's going to give me a little bit more diversity in terms of looks, but then also in use. That's where I'm going to say put that one down and consider the NARS Pure Luxury Palette. This is the deeper one, and here's where it makes more sense for me. This is marketed as a face and eye palette, and that's exactly how I use it. I use this on the face. I have also used these to make eye looks. The eye looks are beautiful. They last on the eyes, as well as these powders lasting well on the skin. Whereas the Hourglass palette, I am only using this one on the face. You could use these on the eyes if you want to, but the powders are very soft. So for me, they're not gonna last as long on my eyes. And my eye look is not going to be as impactful as I want it to be. So with the NARS palette, I'm getting more use out of it. And if I'm going to pay upwards of $60+ I think this one was $90 and this one is $60. This $60 one is going to give me more uses, and I also really like the pigmentation as well. So that's why I would say choose the NARS one over the Hourglass. But they both are beautiful, and if you want the Hourglass one, I highly recommend it because I've been enjoying her. Okay, let's move on to eyeshadow. All right, so I have recommendations. I have no skips. Ooh, I technically do have a skip, and I'm trying to decide if I should mention it here and just be controversial. I think we're gonna do that. Okay, so first, if you like purple, I'm gonna say holla at Natasha Denona Rocks the palette. Okay, she's beautiful. I love this particular palette. Formulation is great as well. My only tip for you is that the purple shade right here, which is called Eclipse, she could be a little patchy. I'm not gonna say she's not. So what I did to make this one work for me is work in smaller sections, build up the pigmentation, and like work in smaller sections, blend, work in smaller sections, blend. And you can get this shade to work really nicely for you. All the other shades are just beautiful. I'm wearing these two shades on the lower lash line today, and I really enjoy it. I like purple eyeshadow, so this palette was a no-brainer for me. I knew I wanted to pick it up, and I have been very pleased with it. I'm also going to recommend this palette here that I cannot stop putting down. And when I say I love her, I love this Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlit palette. One of you all was just like, is it me or is this palette boring? And you know, she might, but I love her. So here's the thing. She's a little cooler, okay? She's a little cooler than the original Ethereal Eyes, but I feel like we're getting neutral tones and cooler tones. So like this side of the house is gonna be a little more neutral. This side of the house is gonna be more cool. And I really love that we do have actual deeper tones in this palette. So if you did have a deeper skin tone, you like neutral and cooler tones, you actually have shades in here that you can work with, that you can really do a full eye look with the palette and not have to reach outside of this palette for your depth shades. And then of course, like these fairy dust shades here in the middle, I literally cannot stop using this palette. And I recommend it for people who like color stories like this and who feel like they would get good use out of it. So like this is the palette that I'll reach for when I want a really beautiful eye look, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on the eye look. And I just want to go in with like a couple matte shades, and then I want a really beautiful ethereal shimmer on the eyes. This is the palette I've been reaching for because that's been my looks lately, because your girl ain't got a lot of time, okay? As much as I like to spend time on my eyes, I just don't have that time like I used to all the time. So a palette like this is perfection for me. And then of course she's travel friendly, so highly recommend it. It may not be for everybody, but it's for me. And then here is where we're going to get controversial. I haven't even done a full review, and I'm going to do a full review because I feel like I need to really explain what I'm about to say. So don't come for me and do not judge me by what I'm saying, because I'm just speaking my truth, okay? And I said this. If you watched my wish list video. I said, I really don't think I'm going to be impressed by these, but I got to try them. And I was right. I'm going to tell you what you can skip. If you have what I'm about to recommend, you can skip them. You can skip them. These are the new Patrick Ta, what is he calling them? Major Dimension Eye Illusion eyeshadow duos. So I have the pink duo here, which is called I'm With Her. And then I have this like pinkish champagne one that is called Talk to My Team. I'm wearing them on my eyes right now. I'm wearing all 4 shades. So I'm just going to insert my tutorial so you can see where I put them. And I'm going to tell you something. These did not give me the wow effect that I was expecting. Because you know what I thought these were going to remind me of? I thought these were going to remind me of the Pat McGrath Special shades. They have a thinner and more like, transparent base to them. So it doesn't have a lot of base, and like, I'm not gonna hold you. My eye look is pretty. I'm not disappointed in how it looks, but I'm just like, I have these in better formulas. And so I'm going to say, if you have any Pat McGrath Mothership palettes, if you have Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes that have like beautiful sparkly shades, if you have any of the Danessa Myricks Lightwork palettes, because I'm about to recommend the one that I think you should get, this Lightwork 6 palette, baby, she gonna give you what you need in that type of formulation, okay? First off, who told Danessa to come out here and transform the way that we do palettes? Because we go from, look, the bigger cartridge is over there. I don't even keep this palette in the bigger cartridge because she stays in travel form because I've been traveling a lot. But this is honestly how I prefer to keep her. If you want a sparkly shade that is going to give you what you're looking for, and you want one swipe full-on pigmentation, go ahead and pick this one up. Now, I know this Lightwork 6 palette is not the cheapest, okay? But you're getting so much with this palette. First off, you got your little travel mirror here. It's completely magnetic. The pouch comes with it. And literally, if I'm in a rush and I'm like, ooh, I need one of these shades, literally finger, swipe, blend it, and I'm done. This eye look that I have right here, tell me I couldn't get it with this particular palette. I could have. I really could have. And I love DMB. Y'all know I love Danessa, so my bias is out there. But if you're going to spend high-end money, spend high-end money for a product that you're going to get more from. I know that there was a lot of hype and concern about the price of these duos. And the price didn't concern me because Patrick Ta has never been cheap. Like, he's never priced his products to be on like the lower spectrum of Sephora pricing. So the pricing didn't bother me, but I was expecting more. And if I did not have Pat McGrath's Motherships, Natasha's eyeshadow palettes, and the Lightwork palettes, I probably would be wowed by these. So that's where I'm saying, if you have those other palettes that I just called out, these may not tickle your fancy like they're tickling other people's fancies. And I'm also, let me just put this out here again. I am not saying that these are bad. They're not bad. They're beautiful. I'm not saying people who love them are lying. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying they did not wow me the way that I thought that they were. And so I am going to do a full review so we can do some comparisons so you can see what I'm talking about in full on detail. But I just figured I would go ahead and tell y'all. I don't think it's a necessity. This Lightwork 6 though, if you're going to spend money, get you this one. Honorable mentions, because I literally use these all the time. Groundwork palette. Y'all have heard me talk about this forever, so we're just gonna throw her in here. I use these two shades for my brows all the time. Literally can do a full face of makeup with this palette. Absolutely love it for sure. And then the other one that I would highly recommend is Blooming Romance. Love, love, love this one for lip combos, cheek combos, and also the eyes. Cannot get enough of it. And there's my honorable mention. Okay, last category, lips. And then we got setting spray, and then we're done. Okay, my obsession with lips has been the Fenty Beauty lip liners and these gloss bomb sticks. Okay, so it doesn't help that they sent the whole collection to me in PR, which I was really happy about because I was gonna pick up a couple of shades and I was gonna let it be. I would have bought probably all of these shades that I'm talking about because the formula is just that good and they stay in my purse. I use them all the time. Highly recommend you check them out. Between the lip liners and the gloss bomb sticks, if I had to choose one, it's the lip liners for me. It's the lip liners for me. So my favorite lip liner shade is going to be Extra Thigh. I just can't get enough of her. Like this, I have worn down. I will say the formula is very creamy, but you kind of run through them a little quickly. So you'll use these lip liners probably faster than, like, for instance, the Makeup Forever Artist Pencils. And I don't care. I would buy these 15 times over. No questions asked. Extra Thigh is my absolute favorite shade. It is so stunning and beautiful. And these literally last a very long time. Like a very long time. My other favorite shade that I use a lot is going to be Browned Out. And then also, ooh, what's that other shade? I can't think of it, but it's her other like deep brown, cool tone brown shade. We have the shade Riri, which is what I'm wearing on my lips today. I love her. And then Satin Panty. Those 4 lip liners be giving it to me every time. And the gloss bomb sticks, the shades that I really enjoy and have used the most, Hot Chocolate. We have Spice Cold is probably the shade I have used the most in this formula. Then we have the shade Riri and then Hibiscus. Honey, try one. Try one. They're really, really beautiful. Probably one of the best products the brand has made. Let's also talk about the Makeup Forever Artistry Pencils. I've talked about these before, and I'm going to keep talking about them because they are just that amazing. You can use these in your eyes, on your brows, on your lips. They're so blendable, and it's interesting because with a formula like this is a wooden pencil. You wouldn't think it would be creamy enough for the eyes to blend out as like eyeshadow, but they are. I have bought various shades. The brand does send me additional shades. You can get this kit. They did send this to me September. You can get this kit at Sephora right now. So this is their Artist Color Pencil Magic Minis. The minis are a perfect size because you can, of course, use them regularly, but I like to keep them in my purse. So if ever I am rushing to do my makeup and I'm like, all right, I'll finish this in a car, I got something already in my purse that I can use for eyes and lips. So the shades that come in this kit, Whatever Black, which is their black shade, All Around White, their white shade, Anywhere Caffeine, one of my favorite shades, Wherever Walnut, another one of my favorite shade, and then my absolute favorite shade in this formula is going to be Limitless Brown. Honey child, these are amazing. So I would recommend purchasing this to try out a few shades, get your feel for them to see if you like them. And if you do like them, you can get other shades. Setting spray. The One Size Setting Spray on Till Dawn. Definitely is going to be the setting spray that locks your makeup in place, helps it to last all day long. And in my opinion, for it to be such a long-lasting setting spray, it does not dry out the skin. So I really like this one. I have 3 of these. I bought the mini size, I want to say last year. And then I invested in the full size. And then I also have the one that has like the glitter spray. So pretty. And yeah, guys, those are my recommendations. I'm looking around. Did I miss anybody? I did not. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this was long, but we had a lot to talk about. And I hope this helped you in terms of giving you some suggestions for the savings event. I do want to get you one up for fragrance, because y'all know I love fragrance. I have some things I'd like to recommend, and I was just like, what we can't do is put this in here because it's too long. But let me know what's on your wish list. What are you picking up, or what have you already picked up that you're like, yep, this is what I wanted to pick up, and I either have already tried it, it's cute, I ain't tried it, I don't know about this one, Chels. Y'all know I love to hear all the commentary down below in the comment section. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad, because we love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.